Hey everyone, it's Emma AY from CybrBrief, and today we're going to explore a fascinating tool that's revolutionizing cybersecurity, the MITRE ATT&CK Framework. This isn't just another acronym to remember. It's a comprehensive guide that maps out the entire playbook used by cyber attackers, giving us an unprecedented strategic advantage. First, let's dive into who MITRE is. They're a not-for-profit organization based in the US, primarily funded by the government to tackle tech challenges with a special emphasis on cybersecurity. They've created the ATT&CK framework not just as a theoretical model, but as a living document based on real cyber incidents. It's like having a spy in the enemy's camp, providing us with actionable intelligence. The MITRE ATT&CK framework can be found at attack.mitre.org. It is an invaluable resource for learning the tactics, techniques, and procedures of cyber threats. I will give you a moment to save this address in your bookmarks to ensure you have it for future use. One of the coolest things about ATT&CK is its language unification. It establishes a common terminology for discussing cyber threats. Whether you're a C-level executive or a junior tech support person, you can now talk about credential access or privilege escalation with the same understanding. It's like having a universal translator for cybersecurity threats, ensuring everyone speaks the same language when it comes to network defense. Now let's get into the meat of how ATT&CK works. Picture it like a strategic battle map where each column represents a phase of an attack, how they gain initial access, how they maintain persistence, or how they move within your network to reach their objectives. Each column is filled with specific techniques like drive-by compromise for gaining entry or data exfiltration for stealing data. This layout might seem like a daunting labyrinth at first, but once you start navigating it, you'll see its value. It's like having a map of all the possible paths an attacker could take. You can then evaluate your defenses by asking, what if this attacker uses this technique against us? This kind of proactive assessment is crucial for building resilient security measures. The standardization of terminology through ATT&CK identifiers is another major benefit. Instead of vague descriptions, we can now pinpoint attacks with precise labels. For instance, when you're discussing a password spray attack, you can reference it with its specific ATT&CK identifier, making research, discussion, and documentation much more efficient. It's like cataloging each weapon in an arsenal, so you know exactly what you're dealing with. Let's walk through a practical scenario to see ATT&CK in action. Suppose an attacker finds an entry point through a vulnerability in an outdated software on your network, maybe an old printer or a smart device. They use this access to collect all available password hashes. With tools like John the Ripper, Hashcat, and others, they then crack these hashes over time, potentially gaining access to more critical systems by reusing those passwords. Knowing these tactics from ATT&CK helps you fortify your network with stronger password policies or additional authentication layers, making such attacks significantly harder. But ATT&CK isn't just about defensive strategies. It's about getting into the mind of the attacker. By understanding their tactics, you can anticipate their moves. It promotes a proactive security posture where you're not just waiting for an attack, but actively looking for signs of these techniques in your network. It's like playing chess, where you're several moves ahead, predicting where the opponent might strike next. In terms of incident response, ATT&CK is invaluable. When you're in the heat of a cyber incident, this framework helps you quickly determine which tactics or techniques might have been employed. This insight accelerates your response, enabling you to contain and mitigate damage swiftly. It's like having a preset game plan for every possible scenario, ensuring you're not just reacting but responding with precision. Educationally, ATT&CK is a goldmine. It's not just about teaching security practices, it's about explaining the why behind them. When your team grasps why certain security measures are in place, they become more than just followers of protocols. They become active defenders. This shift from reactive to proactive thinking is what makes a security team truly effective. The framework also evolves as the threat landscape changes. As new attacks emerge, MITRE updates ATT&CK, ensuring you're always working with the most current threat intelligence. This means your security strategy can evolve too, staying relevant against emerging threats. It's about being in a continuous cycle of learning and adaptation, which is the essence of cybersecurity. Imagine you're evaluating new security software. With ATT and CK, you can simulate these known attack techniques to test your defenses. This isn't just about checking boxes, it's about ensuring your security measures are robust against real-world threats. It's like pressure testing your digital walls to see if they can withstand the latest siege tactics. Moreover, ATT and CK aids in documentation and reporting. When you write up an incident or discuss threats with stakeholders, using ATT and CK's terminology ensures your communication is clear and precise. This clarity is crucial for decision-making, especially when you're trying to justify security expenditures or explain complex threats to those outside the cybersecurity field. The community aspect of ATT and CK is also noteworthy. Since it's freely available, it fosters a collaborative environment where knowledge is shared across the cybersecurity community. When one organization learns something new about an attack technique, that knowledge can benefit everyone, enhancing collective security. It's like having a global network of allies all working to understand and combat cyber threats together. However, while ATT and CK is incredibly powerful, it's not a standalone solution. It should be integrated into a broader security strategy that includes regular system updates, user education, and physical security measures. Think of ATT and CK as one of many tools in your security toolkit. It's essential but needs to work in concert with others to truly protect your network. In practice, using ATT and CK means looking at your network through a new lens. Each technique listed in the framework can be a potential vulnerability. You ask, how can we guard against this? It's like having a detailed checklist for your digital infrastructure, ensuring you've considered every angle of attack. For example, if you're concerned about process injection, you can examine how your systems are set up to detect and prevent such techniques. Are your security logs configured to alert on anomalous process behaviors? Have you segmented your network to limit an attacker's ability to move laterally? These are the kinds of questions ATT and CK helps you answer. Another critical aspect is threat intelligence. With ATT and CK, you can map which groups or types of attackers might target your industry or organization based on their known techniques. This allows for targeted defense strategies, focusing on the threats most likely to affect you. It's like knowing which weather patterns to prepare for based on your geographical location. But remember, even with all this knowledge, human error remains a significant factor. That's why alongside technical measures, there's a strong need for ongoing education. Teaching your team not just to recognize these threats, but also understand the motivation behind them can make all the difference. It's about creating a culture where security awareness is part of daily operations. The MITRE ATT&CK framework also shines in its ability to facilitate communication within and across organizations. When everyone uses the same terminology, it's easier to share insights, experiences, and solutions. This shared understanding can lead to more effective security practices and faster response times in the face of attacks. Moreover, the application of ATT and CK extends into compliance and regulatory environments. Many standards require organizations to have knowledge of and defenses against known attack vectors. ATT and CK provides a framework to demonstrate that you're not just aware of these threats, but actively prepared for them, which can be crucial in audits or when proving compliance with cybersecurity standards. In essence, the MITRE ATT and CK framework isn't just about cataloging threats, it's about understanding the battlefield of cybersecurity. It helps you not only to defend, but also to evolve your defenses as threats evolve. It's like having a strategic guide to counter any move an attacker might make. So, if you're passionate about getting into the nitty-gritty of cybersecurity, you're in the right place. I've got loads more content lined up that'll expand your knowledge and sharpen your skills. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting, we're in this together, making you an expert in cybersecurity one episode at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more cyber adventures. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and stay secure, my friends.